السلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Alhamdulillah, it's with the immense fadl of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azawajal that once again it is through His divine and infinite mercy that He has reunited us and collected us under His blessed banner of Islam, wal Iman, wal Ihsan, and also upon this very important topic that we all here to learn about. Before I begin and go into the detail of today, I just would like you to, for a few moments, spend some time just talking to the person next to you, on your left or behind or in threes. So, Heather, if you could just sit next to Bruno and just mention how your salah was or how you found that sheet. So just do that for the next minute, inshallah. So you can talk amongst yourselves, inshallah, and just mention to your partner how you found it, what your difficulties were. Can we have a raise of hands? Just give us some feedback, how you found it. Or do you want to do one by one? I think we'll do one by one. Heather, go on, you start. Don't worry about shyness. Imagine, let's just put it into this context. There's two types of shyness, yeah? One is the shyness and haya in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's other type of shyness. That's the shaitani type of shyness. And what that shaitani type of shyness is that shaitan tricks us. Okay, when it's time to talk about good things, don't talk about it. When it talks about evil, encourages it more. So, Either if you want to just start, don't be shy. These people are not going to judge you, or the guy doesn't know how to pray. You know what I mean? Don't worry about it.
I found it quite hard to concentrate, even just in general before I was doing it, because like your mind just wanders. But it did help. But also like when it came to like the second regard after, like I find it harder to like just keep that concentration level.
Okay. Next. Brother, do you want to have a go? Hafiz Sahab. Acha.
When I came the next day, I just revised my namaz again.
Acha.
You read slowly, like you can hear the words more clearly, and you know it.
MashaAllah.
You're not reading it clearly because you need first to know.
MashaAllah. And what about the particular part of when we were saying, just remind yourself, Allah is with me, Allah is hearing me, see him. How did you find this? Would it just trigger that moment again?
It was easier this week, but then again it would wander off, but it didn't wander off as much.
Acha.
But I think it's
MashaAllah. Subhanallah, alhamdulillah. Brother, yourself. Heather, just move across, let me see. My dear brother here. What's your name? Junaid, mashallah.
Yeah, more concentration when you read namaz.
Okay. Where would you say you found it hard? Or was it, alhamdulillah, you grasped it?
Yeah, I grasped it because I was already doing it.
MashaAllah, that's good.
2-3 weeks.
MashaAllah, really good, alhamdulillah. Good to hear. And yourself? Brother, what's your name? Bilal, mashallah.
So it was just helping me refocus. So at first I probably wasn't focusing as well. And then whenever I get distracted, I remind myself
Acha.
with me, Allah is
MashaAllah.
and then it helped me refocus.
When you've prayed in the past, would you say there's a difference? MashaAllah, that's good. Because this is the start. What's to come, inshallah, I'm going to, inshallah, show you something, a secret almost. What about yourself, Fadi?
So initially when I did start it, because we're doing it longer than a week, I did feel the real higher connection that I've never really felt before in Salah.
Ji.
Your heart definitely feels it during Salah.
MashaAllah.
You really enjoy Salah and like it's like you want longer.
Alhamdulillah.
But then sometimes, I know the last kind of few weeks, it kind of, I don't know, maybe it's low habits and it's becoming more of an autopilot. Allah will be healing it, but you're not really trying to, it's just, you kind of think of it, but you're not kind of feeling it. I think I need to kind of get back on how it was initially.
Acha.
Try to feel it more. And
Yeah.
I was thinking of different things as well, like just trying to imagine like the Kaaba.
Acha. MashaAllah. MashaAllah. Adam, if you just want to, what would you say in response to what the brothers mentioned? What would you say?
He only gets better and better.
MashaAllah. But you know what the brother's talking about is that he would think of things like, for example, barzakh, or he would think of the Kaaba. What would you, as obviously you've been through this, so what would you advise and suggest?
I think when it comes to that part, you're supposed to, like, in the sheet it's like you're supposed to pray as though it's your last prayer.
Mm-hmm.
Or when you do it like that,
So it becomes less about feelings. So really, the essence of it, of developing Khushoo, because you see one of the biggest obstacles we face, there's too much we want feeling. So how can you feel Allah when you want to feel yourself? You want to feel your own presence. It means it's an obstacle, it's a barrier. That's why when those people who pray purely for Allah, because you got to remember, there are people that have been praying 15, 20, 40, 30, as long as you can imagine, older than us. But they don't have that same zest and same energy as they did when they started. So in order to maintain this, it comes down to whereby we need to correct the fiqh masala. So for example, the last thing you want to be doing is praying without wudu, praying without ghusl, praying without istinja. And these are very delicate points, because Allah is the one who accepts and rejects. So if Allah has said to us that this is my shar, this is my condition, I expect A, B, C, D, E, F, G of you. In return, I reward you abundantly. I give you the paradise, I give you everything you can imagine. But follow the shar and follow the condition. The shar means condition. So when you hear this word in the future, this is the shar, the condition. So in this fiqh slide, we're going to try and go through it as swiftly as possible, because I've already spoken about the deen, aqidah, and tasawwuf. Now we're going to talk about the fiqh. I've not spoken fully about tasawwuf, but I've spoken to some extent. So in simple terms, there are two types of najasat. Najasat basically means the cleanliness, the dirt of a person. So the types of filth, should we say. So the first one is najasat haqimi. This is visible. For example, a person's urine, stool, blood of human beings and animals. Okay, make sure we understand this very clearly. And it's going to be very information based today. So if you don't understand, I'm going to inshallah send you all of this on WhatsApp anyway. So you can read back on it, understand it better, and then inshallah ask questions too. The second one is najasat hukmi, which is invisible, i.e. being without wudu or in need of ghusl. Like for example, if a person is praying with you, you can see maybe that guy has blood on his clothes. And another fine one is, and I learned this maslak from Imam Qais, once they were praying in Minhaj al-Quran, and they put someone forward, if I'm not mistaken, or was it the other way around? Maybe I think they were praying, and they had paint. They were painting their house, so they had paint on their hand, like just above the wrist. They prayed and realized there's actually paint there, which means that they've not washed that area of the hand. And hand up to the arm is Fards. So they didn't reply. And I remember the next prayer they made alan and said actually that everyone's namaz was not valid that day. So meaning that's salah. So whoever came and they said actually we were not in wudu. It takes a man to say that. It takes someone really honest to say that. So now, especially for women, when they paint their nails, you see with the painting of the nails and nail polish, this is something that also, yes, you can say, oh, there is waterproof this and waterproof that, or wudu friendly this and wudu friendly that. Why are you so concerned? This is the ultimate answer. And it's my shaykh actually mentioned this. What's the concern? Why are you in a grey area and messing with your salah? A person could not even, you might not even be in ghusl because of this. Are you going to take the word? Imagine someone said to you, oh, this meat is haram, but I'm not sure actually. It may or may not have been killed properly. You would say, hang on a second, I'm not going to even, it's a doubtful matter. And Rasulullah's advice on doubtful matters is it becomes impermissible. It's haram at that point. So just note these things in mind, because we'll go through it more, meaning as we go along we will start to unlock these type of things, and also people have natural doubt, natural question, curiosities. We want to clear everything up, inshallah. So the first type of invisible, the hukmi najasat, is hadath asghar, the minor impurities. I.e., they need to be in wudu, to be purified from filth, for example, the passing of wind. Hadath akbar, the major impurities. I need to be in ghusl, to be purified from filth, janaba, monthly cycle, intimacy, these type of things. Of course, they actually will break the ghusl of a person. Mukhafa, this is visible, haqiqi. So over 1/4 of a particular portion of the body or clothes, i.e. is covered in blood, dirt, urine, stool. There's certain, like people will say, another thing about the dog. You see dog, sometimes you may touch dog, the dog might actually lick you. In the Hanafi madhab, the ruling is very clear. Touching a dog does not invalidate your wudu. It's not bleed. Like I know how when we grew up we say, oh, dog is bleed. And that's why Gore laughing when we're running away because we're scared. So then you think, actually, because I don't want to get bleed by the dog, so they think, oh, you're fearful. In reality, you're trying to keep your wudu, or you're trying to do something. Do not dirty your clothes or stuff like this. It's clear in the Hanafi madhab. There's no doubt, because alhamdulillah for us, dogs existed then as well. So like there are certain grey areas, like for example nail polish. Nail polish didn't really exist then. So like obviously the ulama have had to come to a conclusion, i.e. which type of impurity does it fall under, mukhafa, mughalaza and stuff like this. So in this case, it's quite simple. If there is blood on your clothes or on your skin, you wash the body part 3 times. i.e. your hand, you wash again and wash again. Or quite simply put in a washing machine, tumble dry, it goes over 150,000 times. I'm not sure how many times a washing machine will spin, but it will definitely wash that area sufficiently. Or like sometimes it's happened to me in the past, blood fell on my clothes, quite simply put it under the tap, rubbed it, took it out, rubbed it, took it out, rubbed it, took it out. This is again safety of one's wudu. Mughallaza, this is when over 3 grams of weight or bigger than a 2p coin on the body. Similar, you wash the body or the clothes 3 times. So it is exactly the same. If there is visible dirt on you, no matter what type, either on your body or your clothes, you wash 3 times. You need to perform wudu for minor impurity and ghusl for minor impurity. Quite straightforward. First you use water if available. If not, then use the earth, dust, tayammum, when water is not available or when the water is harmful for health. So for example, many people now, they have eczema or they have dermatitis, they have skin conditions where they are very sensitive to especially tap water. So in that case, actually, what to do is either you speak to your, of course, you consult, you seek medical advice first, which type of water should I use? Is there any type of, because nowadays you can get bottles which filter water anyway. So, of course, like to make it easier, you use them type of means. Istinja, another one where people get lost in this matter and rush. Istinja means to clean the private parts after passing urine or stool by using clean water, tissue paper, or lumps of dry earth. Let me make this very clear. When it is written here tissue paper, a tissue paper does not suffice for istinja. It is using clean water alongside tissue paper, alongside it. So for example, like this will be even more of a thorough clean, because you see back in those days when maybe this kitab was written, the toilets were low down. So nowadays toilets are high up, cleanliness and the way a person sits all makes a difference. You make istinja after passing urine or stool, etc. You can use lumps of dry earth for istinja provided the body is properly cleansed. So for example, you must be in wudu and ghusl. For passing of urine and stool, one should go to a place of privacy and seat oneself at ease. After relieving, wash and clean with toilet paper. That's why it says wash and clean with toilet paper the private parts until satisfied that they have become clean. You should use the left hand in istinja. So make that very clear. You should not face or show the back to the Qibla when passing out urine or stool. So meaning you should be sitting at the sideways angle. If this is impossible, it's not makruh, or it doesn't invalidate the istinja as such, but it's better, meaning it's more rewarding. You should not pass out urine while standing unless there is great difficulty due to illness or disability. Now if this is a habitual thing of someone, standing is not something that is recommended under sunnah whilst urinating. You should remove rings, badges or anything else with the name of Allah, His Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, Quranic verses, hadiths are written. It is permissible to have them in the pocket. You should not urinate or pass stool on a public road or path, beneath a fruit tree or a tree giving shade, or in a well, dam or a river. Again, etiquettes of doing istinja. If you are in an open place and there's no toilet, then sit in a place where you cannot be seen by others. You see, haya, modesty, shyness. This is the type of shyness Allah loves. Before entering the toilet, you recite the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhu bika minal khabuthi wal habaith. O Allah, I seek your protection in you from the male and female devil. Enter with the left foot. When leaving the toilet with the right foot, recite the dua, and then one should take special care of urine drops and traces. One of the best adabs advised by the teacher, that whenever you use the toilet, the next person should not go in and know that you've used the toilet. This is taqwa. So many times, if there's available attar or any type of fragrance, clean yourself, clean the area. The lota's there. If you've used all the water, fill the lota back up. Make sure because sometimes you have wet hands and you touch toilet paper, you leave, it wets the toilet paper. Take those bits off, put them in your pocket. And of course, if there's fragrances at hand, spray the area so at least the smell or anything is gone. So that's another etiquette. They mentions here there is no need to doubt, but when you are sure you can feel, so this is what I mean, like any type of urine drops or traces, then one must do istinja, wash the part of clothes that have been soiled, and perform wudu again. Now I'm going to just ask Heather, is your vision, you're squinting a little bit. You want to sit a bit closer? You can sit there. Adam, you take over the camera. So, Heather, whilst you're here, do you want to read these out? So these are the obligatory acts of wudu. So where water is scarce or minimal water, Heather, if you want to just read them. Can you see?
Yeah.
Okay. You got glasses?
Yeah, I do. To wash the face once from the hairline of the forehead to the lower part of the chin, where it meets neck, and from one earlobe to the other.
Stand up and show the brothers what that means.
From your forehead, all the way down to your chin, and then to both earlobes.
Right. I want to touch on this. I do want to touch on this. Now I'm worried now. You're going to make the session long. We might just be all about wudu now. But inshallah, you'll still benefit. It's all part of salah anyway. You can't pray without this. This is like this is the pin number for your salah. Now, when he means forehead, I just want to ask a general question. I'll ask to everyone. If you know or don't know, don't worry. I might pick on someone. Not you, Adam. So yeah, you on the camera now, so you're safe. So now I'm going to say he's washing his head. He's washing his face actually. He's done that, and he's not done khulla of his beard. What does that mean? Would you say his salah is, would you say his wudu is valid? Why? You've lobbed yourself in this one.
Because if you've got a beard, chin, the bottom of your chin also needs to be wet.
Yes. Especially those with thick beards, like Brother Jamal at the back, and Fadi, of course. MashaAllah. So like always ensure do khulla of the beard. Meaning you run your fingers through properly. And also your jaw and all of this is part of your face. You know, some people splash water and then this, how can you be sure? Yeah, you might get it, you might not. You're taking a chance. So just take your time. That's why in Sunnah everything is done in threes. One time you don't do it, second time you don't do it, third time you might get it. There's sometimes hikmah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam why they would say this. Go on, next one.
To wash both hands, including elbows once.
Yes. Okay, next one.
To wipe a quarter of head once with wet hands.
Show a quarter of your head.
Quarter of my head.
Yeah. Look at the brothers and show them what is a quarter of your head.
Quarter of my head, so.
Do you need a ruler? You need a tape measure just to make sure. Don't worry, you just give a rough idea.
That's like a quarter.
Okay.
And then run your hands.
Okay, now I'm going to ask another question. You've just washed your face, yeah? You've just washed your face. Now he's wiping his head. He's wiping his head. For me, obviously, if you have no hair, your hairline, you should know where it was at least, inshallah. My hairline starts here. I've lifted my mom up a little bit just to make visual thingy. So, there my hairline starts. Now say I'm doing my massa and I accidentally touch my head. Is my massa valid? Give us a guess.
I think you need to start from your hair, you can't touch your forehead.
Why is that?
Because you put fresh water on it and it's supposed to go on the hair.
Yes. Because the wording is very harsh, it's particular. It says wipe the head. Wipe. It's not saying wash. Washing the head and wiping the head are two different things. Because you're not there throwing water, you're not having a bath. So wipe, so like for example, once you have touched, if you've not started from here and you touch your head, the water is considered used. It's considered used water at that point. So the wudu is not valid. Now ask yourself, if I want khushoo in salah and my wudu is not done right, my salah is not valid, why am I not getting khushoo in salah? You're all smart people. Put two and two together. The last one is, Heather?
To wash both feet, including and up to ankles.
Okay. Another one I want to mention. I'm just trying to think of the most common, like, masail that come up. One of the most one is to do with the toes. The toes. You see, because some people, everyone's toes are different. I know we don't want to look at everyone's toes. That's a bit weird. But like, some people's toes are more wide spread out. Some people's toes are more closer together. There's a chance water may not reach the toes. So to do khulla of the toes, so to rub your fingers through the toes to ensure water reaches that area is the safest option. Don't just sprinkle it under the tap and hope for the best. Sometimes it just washes off, it just rolls off. So you see, it's like these type of things, it's very, very important to understand that without these obligations, And also, at least you know when water is scarce, or like you have access to a limited water. Like for example, you might have a bottle of water and it's just got enough to fulfill the farz. At least now you know you'll do them right. Sunnah is to do three times, but say when water is left, one time is sufficient. One time will give you wudu. One thing hasn't been covered is, or did I skip it by mistake? No, is the ghusl. So the ghusl is quite straightforward. Adam, do you want to share the 3 fards of the ghusl? Ghusl is ritual bath.
So it's the entire body, making sure every hair on the body is wet.
Yeah.
Gargling water 3 times, and then the nose, making sure it's all the way.
Okay, just to repeat those 3 one more time. Number 1, ensuring that every single hair on your body has been is wet and washed to some extent. So this means including into the belly button, behind the thighs, in your elbow, armpits, everything, behind the ears, in the ears, everything. Okay? Hair on the head, of course. The second one is the gargling, meaning simply in the book it says to rinse and gargle, but there's a condition to the guy's shar of gargling, provided you're not fasting. Okay? And again with the nose, to wash the nose up to the soft bone 3 times. Again, don't drink it if you're fasting. Like some people, they really, they take that water right up to their brain. So again, be very careful, and they're thinking, oh, they've took a whack there. So again, just be careful with that one. It's something that is can be forgotten. Because I once recall, and we was having an argument. You know how you get certain people and they're like, oh, and they come across and they're like Salafi type brothers. And he was arguing with me for ages. Eventually I got fed up with him and I said, brother, just tell me the farz of ghusl. For 2 hours he sat there confused, guessing. So you see, he doesn't know that, but he can tell me about bid'ah 100%. So the components and the foundation of religion, he has no clue. But he can tell me about bid'ah and all these kinds of crazy things that they come out with. It says here, I think we've gone through this. One should try to perform ablution fully with sunnah and mustahab, but it is useful to know first acts for situation where water is scarce. Anyway, we've covered this. I won't go too much in detail. I'll let you look at the finer details of the intention and stuff like this. More important for us is to hopefully cover the salah. Oh, there we go. Ghusls come in there. Second. Salah. This is something where people can actually get quite lost. And understanding there is shar inside of salah and shar outside of salah. Meaning before you begin and during the prayer. You all know these anyway. You would have gone through in madrasa, in masjid when you were young. So there's no point me how many rakat are in Fajr, Zohar, Asr, Maghrib and Isha. We all know this. Of course, you can look through anyway when I share this document with yourselves. I just want to cover one important thing, is the Jummah khutbah. Close the door. Jummah khutbah. The Jummah salah. Because sometimes people will pray the 4 fards of Zohar and Jummah. This is substituted for Sunnah Muakkada. So it's an emphasized Sunnah. It's emphasized prophetic practice. The only fards in Jummah is the 2 fards that we read in Jamaat. That's it. Rest of it is substituted for Sunnah Muakkada. It's right there. And then the 2 normal and the 2 nafil that is usually there. So the extra 2 is your fards. And also listening to the khutbah in Arabic is wajib to listen to. Wajib basically means it is mandatory, 1 level below obligatory. So if you're getting late for Jummah and you miss the khutbah, it's likely that your Jummah was not accepted. Meaning, who am I to say really? But in essence, it wasn't accepted based on the shar and condition of the Hanafi madhab. The faraid of salah. So faraid outside of salah. Heather, do you want to go again?
Yeah, go on. Purification of body, make wudu or ghusl if necessary.
So we've covered that. Okay?
Cleanliness of clothes.
Okay.
Cleanliness of place where salah will be offered.
Okay. One thing I want to touch up on that one. Sometimes people will say, I pray on the street. I pray on the street. At a bare minimum level, where your head will go, you must be certain that there has been no prior najas in that area. So like if a dog has urinated, how can you be certain? So always ensure at least your head is not on the ground. Okay? That place is more important where that will be covered. Number 4, this is my favorite one.
Covering of satar, parts of the body ordered to be covered.
Do you know what the satar is?
Your knees to your navel.
Oh, mashallah. Does everyone understand that? So, when you're in salah, you're praying, that is why, if you're going to pray or go to mosque, there's a reason why longer clothes are preferred. I read Jummah this Friday. Obviously, I don't want to, it was in Manchester anyway, so you won't know who he is. But he was reading his salah, and unfortunately, the area, the satar became uncovered. I don't want to go into detail, but you get the gist of it. We would have all had experience, or we've seen someone, and you're thinking, Yara, why? So you're thinking at that moment, but yet you look at his life and you're thinking, why is this brother struggling in his life? Why does he have anxiety? Why does he have depression? Why is it he can't develop a relationship with Allah? Number one, you're not even fulfilling Allah's rights. Allah has set a condition, A, B, C, D, E, and we're not fulfilling the right. Again, those parts of the body must be covered and they cannot be uncovered. Adam, do you know the duration where if it's uncovered for that duration of time, it invalidates the prayer? Do you know?
Is it like 3 seconds or something?
You could say 3 seconds, but it's the equivalent of 3 tasbeehs of ruku. 3 tasbeehs of ruku. Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, Subhana Rabbiyal Azim, Subhana. So those 3 times, if it's uncovered for longer than that period, your salah is invalid. Next one.
Facing towards the qibla.
MashaAllah. Again, Hanafi madhab. Let me just explain. You can never pinpoint this. You can never pinpoint, especially you live very far. So the Hanafi madhab, because Imam Abu Hanifa actually he traveled the world and he spread the madhab to many different countries. He had a ruling. Now there's a stricter ruling and there's a lenient ruling. The lenient ruling is as long as it's within a 90 degree frame. The harsher ruling is within 30 degrees. So as long as it is within those parameters, alhamdulillah, your salah remains qabul and it is accepted. Number 6.
Make niyyah, intention.
Does anyone know the intention for salah? What do you normally say? Does anyone want to say? Junaid, what do you normally say?
Just read it in my mind, like,
What do you say in your mind?
when this mad in one's program,
MashaAllah.
if it's behind Imam,
Acha.
Imam's house, then you can find a cover.
MashaAllah. That's correct. So the intention, obviously intention is something that's made internally. You can say it out loud or you can say it internally. That does not matter. So don't worry about that one. Number 7 is quite simply,
Offer salah at the prescribed times.
MashaAllah. Okay, you've all got namaz calendars and I'm sure you know when namaz is. Okay. We'll go to the fards within prayer. Heather again.
To say takbir, tahrima, i.e. saying Allahu Akbar.
MashaAllah. What does this mean to you guys?
Saying it out loud. So yourself can hear it.
Okay. You have to say Allahu Akbar. Even if it's to the slightest audible level, 1 decibel, you have to say Allahu Akbar. That is the affirmation. Allah, you are great and we are worshipping you. It's affirmation. It's like a bayah that you are going to begin your obligatory rites. You're going to perform the obligation over oneself and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is affirmation, verbal affirmation. Allahu Akbar. You have to say. Even if you stood behind Imam, you still have to say. Does everyone understand this? Even to the lowest audible level, you have to say this. And the reason why this stands out to me, because I remember I didn't used to do this. So when I found out, of course I was upset and hurt. I thought, for so many months I messed up. But alhamdulillah, through Allah's fadl that this was mentioned to me. Number 2.
Qiyam, standing erect.
Okay. Now I need you now to stand up now. Okay, so face towards the brother, just stand here, and just stand here, inshallah. Next is let them zoom out, get this all, inshallah. We need to make sure that this is shown to everybody. Okay, I don't think we need that now. Yeah, just turn that off. Do you want to get the lights on as well? Yeah, just turn the lights on, you can turn that off. I don't think we need it now. One more time. Yeah, okay. You okay now?
Yeah.
I don't want your beautiful eyes getting hurt. Okay, so you're standing. Let's go through some of the standing positions. And when you do qiraat or when I say do sajdah, I want you to face that way on purpose. So actually face that way, show side on view. So the qiraat is recitation from the Quran. We're going to finish on this, but next week I'm just going to cover the wajibat, and then inshallah we're going to carry on. But really, don't forget to tick those sheets, and also now that you have this, also knowledge and understanding, you'll do better. The qiraat, so recitation from the Quran, that is Surah Fatiha and also a surah. And the rest is covered in the wajib. Next is the ruku. Do you want to show us the ruku? And then I'm going to make some modifications to your posture if it's wrong. Right. He's a bit embarrassed, but don't worry about him. Right. Okay. First thing first, let me take this off. So now, I just want to show everyone, really, I'm not going to put water on your back in case he falls. Your feet, we need them to be straighter, okay? Feet to be straighter. Now I want you to show me, actually do this one. Tuck your elbows in. Do that one. What is wrong? Now that posture is wrong. This posture is wrong. Now go back to normal. Now, but head back more. Head straight. And where should you be looking? Where you're going to do sajdah.
Yeah.
Okay? Left straight. His back should be so straight that if I was to place this glass on his back, it would not fall. Okay? That's if obviously health permitted. You have no back issues. I know some of us are getting on now and we can't do it properly, but try to do this. It has its health benefits as well, but keep your head in that position. Fingers, you're not grabbing your knees. You're not grabbing. It's almost as though you're touching, but you're not gripping onto it. You're not holding on for dear life that you're gonna fall down. Right. So the next one, you can stand back up now, is so we've done the ruku, is the 2 sajdas. So now you're gonna just come onto the carpet, inshallah. If you're gonna do a sajdah now, just go down how you would normally go. Right, okay. Posture seems fine. Can everyone see on the camera at least? Let them get busy with that camera. We want this one. Right, so number 1, his fingers should be in line with his earlobes. Okay? Toes should be, at least try to bend them a little bit more. Again, you're not trying to make it difficult, but just this is alhamdulillah, that's quite good, Hadr, mashallah. Well done. And now, the last one is the qaid akhir. So just sit up now in normal tashahhud position. Right, I don't know who can sit like the proper one. You've seen how the proper way is. Hadr, who can show me? Fadi, can you sit like that? Go on then, show everyone how it should be done. MashaAllah, and then we're going to end on this one. So just show everyone. He's thinking, damn, I've got jeans on.
Yeah,
Do you want this jubba on just in case? MashaAllah. Yeah. Okay. So can just face this way so everyone can see. Face towards the wall. mashallah, this is like, for women it's slightly different. So women, like for women, like obviously I don't want to skip you guys out, but women is very important because your posture is supposed to be hugged and squeezed, like modest, tight. Like no one is supposed to like know the posture or see any type of shape. So that's how a woman's salah is. But like just generally for the men, this is the perfect sitting position, mashallah. So inshallah we're going to end on that point. So inshallah, Fadil, you just want to close the session off, inshallah. Mashallah, subhanakallah wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, thank you.
If anyone has any questions about what was discussed, please raise your hands.
MashaAllah. Ji.
We're talking about the najis earlier. What if you're in the bathroom and like your clothes, like your shawar touches
The water.
the floor?
The water is fine as long as it's not contaminated with urine, blood, or stool. So the water itself is fine. So that is something, of course, to be cautious of. Like if you know that your trousers become, but that's why generally people will roll them up or lift them higher off the floor. And one thing that, of course, I've not mentioned is try your best to refrain from wearing socks in those areas. Because socks, obviously, I've not gone into so much detail. But leather socks, that's fine. But if you're going to wear normal cotton socks, as most people do, try to refrain. Take them off and then enter the area where you know it's a filthy place. The toilet is not known to be a clean place. So, inshallah.
On the Jummah khutbah, when they have like two parts to it, the first part,
Mhm.
put their hands on below the navel, and the second part,
Yeah.
put their hands on is it obligatory?
No. That is like, I don't want to break anyone's hearts, but that is like come from a village culture. That is not actually in Sunnah. The Sunnah of the khutbah is you actually supposed to look at the Imam and stay in one. Obviously, of course, if you want to do that or do this, that's up to you. That's entirely up to oneself. It's not mubah, it's not Sunnah, it's not mustahab or recommended. It doesn't fall into any category. Actually, the Sunnah is to, so for example, if Adil was doing khutbah, I would need to look at him. And that's why sometimes, even when I'm in khutbah, I actually turn my body and look at the Imam. And I've also seen scholarly people, actually, they do this as well. So when you go to Turkey and you see, like I've been to Syria, I've been to Iraq, and I mean, I've not been to Syria, I've been to Iraq, but I've seen the Syrian scholars, they also do it, and they're Hanafi. The Iraqi Hanafi, they do it. They always look at the Imam. This is only something I've seen in Apna culture. And also like, Ji Fadi.
Is that the same for the khutbah for Eid, so both Eid
Same, yeah, same. That khutbah, the Eid of khutbah, that's the khutbah on Eid, that falls in the category of wajib. So I may or may not cover it. If it comes in here, I'll cover it inshallah. But ultimately, I just want to touch upon one more thing as well, is that sometimes you see people doing dua in between. This is not sunnah, and this is something that has only become something that is quite new actually. And there is a famous saying of Imam Abu Hanifa, one of his students, Imam Abu Yusuf, actually asked this question because he was seeing the village folk actually raising their hands in between the khutbah, that they thought there was some virtue in it. And he actually said that this is actually going against the Prophet ﷺ. Because in that time, your folk, the only issue we have is we can't understand what the Arabic khutbah is about. But really, Qala Rasulullah, and then they so on and so forth, they're reciting a hadith. They're going through a sermon of the Prophet ﷺ. Imagine if you was in a sermon of the Prophet ﷺ, would you be raising your hands? You wouldn't. You would want to sit there and be fixated upon that person. So this is what it is. The khutbah is the sermon and the bayan of Rasulullah ﷺ. What they deliver at that time is what Rasulullah ﷺ would have said in a similar khutbah. So think about the maqam and blessing Imams have. MashaAllah. Anything else? Everyone clear, G?
I've got a question, but it's not related to fiqh or anything.
Okay, go on.
So do you know, with salah, like, let's say your mum's knocking on the door.
Mm-hmm.
Can you break your salah, or how would you do it?
No.
No.
No one. There is a condition. that if it's such a need that it cannot be visited afterwards. So for example, they're dying. So it comes down to, that's one example I can give to you off the top of my head. But if they're dying, then maybe then you can revisit the prayer. But even then, it's not recommended. Yeah.
And just for instance, if you had to break your namaz
Mhm.
in an emergency,
Okay.
how would you break it?
So it's quite simple. Whichever posture you're in, you give salam to your right and salam to your left, and you leave the salah.
And make up for it.
And then make intention to visit it within the prescribed time. Yeah.
So in regards to salah that's not for us, like any nawafil voluntary worship,
Mhm.
films we're reading,
Mhm.
can we break that if from the quarter, again, does it have to be something like important? If it's just like a general, they call your name, like you go down, you don't have to break and go down, you can just carry on and
Yeah. In that case, really, a person can speed it up. You see, because nafil really is done in 2 or 4 units. And like, of course, there's leniency with nawafil prayer, but not so much so that it says in the books that you can break the prayer as such. It doesn't mention. And Gigi man.
Again, it's not related to what we said. Do you know, like the sajdah of forgetfulness?
Mm-hmm. Sajdah sahu.
So is it the same as if you're doing a sunnah and then you fariz?
Yes,
Same procedure.
everything.
So again, what time do you do the?
So on the final sitting, you will then do a salam to the right, 2 sajdas.
At what point? Like,
After the first, after you recite Atiyatu Lillahi, so on the final sitting, the Qadi Akhir, the last sitting, you say and forgetfulness, if you've forgotten that, I'm glad you've touched, sort of like this, the thing with fiqh is that it can be 2 sessions in one go, but that wajib, because falls in the category of wajib, let's just go down to them, just to, now that you've asked. Let's just mention, is it even in here? That's the women's salah. I don't think it's in here. Yeah, anyway, it's not in here, but next week, inshallah, I'll open it. Oh, there we go. Wajib actions in salah. So there's 15 wajib actions. So I'm going to give you the document anyway. I'm not going to go through them all one by one. But what we will say, oh no, the projector's not on. Just turn it on for a few minutes, just to help the brothers. We'll finish at 9 o'clock, inshallah. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Anyway, once it open, I just want to very quickly clarify this point, now that you've mentioned. Actually mentioned it here. Can I zoom in? Control plus. Okay. Right, so these are the wajibs of salah, recitation of Fatiha. You can read through all of these. So if any wajib actions are missed or delayed, then you need to do sajdah sahu, the prostration of forgetfulness. This refers to the performance of 2 additional sujuds in order to compensate for an error on salah. However, this error must have been done by mistake and not intentionally, as this would break the salah. So this is wajib only, not the fards. If you miss a fards, your salah is finished. Halas. Start again, do it again. So the fards, we went through the outwards and inwards, which you can read through. Those are fixed. You can't change or adjust those. That's done. But the wajibs, if you miss,
because there's a lot of wajib to learn, sometimes someone might do something in salah and they're not sure if it's a wajib or a sunnah that they've done wrong. Because if it's a wajib, they need the forgetfulness.
So the wajibs are the wajibs.
If you don't know, because there's roughly 15 at the moment, people might take
To
learn it, people may never learn it.
Yeah.
Can you just do it out of precaution in case you might have done something that's maybe it's sunnah, not wajib, but you just thought, just in case, I'll just do a. Can you do it if there wasn't a wajib omitted because you thought it might?
Yes, you can do. However, it's not recommended. So it's not. It falls in the category of something that is makruh. So it's like an omission without necessity. And believe me, you will learn these. they're so simple. Like I know looking at the text it looks like, but it's literally, it's something we already do anyway. It's so easy, believe me. Like when I saw these, like I can't remember, like sometimes if someone asks me like, oh tell me all 15 of them, like I might not be able to tell them off the top of my head. But like in my salah I know, like for example qawma, for example standing up straight after ruku and stuff like this, jalsa and stuff like that, you will learn these very very quickly. So the method anyway, just to touch on what Brother Jamal said, after reciting tashahhud, only in the qaid akhir, so the last sitting, say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, turning the head to the right only, i.e. one salam. Number two, after making this one salam, perform 2 sajdas as usual, sit in qaid akhir and complete the salah as usual, i.e. tashahhud, attayatu lillahi, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin, the Durood Sharif, whatever Durood Sharif you recite, dua, and then finally the salam. So it's quite straightforward.
So before you read Ashhadu Allah, that's when you do the salam and then.
No, when you finished. Before you do the Durood Sharif.
Say you make a mistake,
Mhm.
you're going to do the forgetfulness.
Mhm.
So is it after you do the Ashhadu Allah?
After Shaykh, just before the Durood.
Before the Durood, yes. Before the Durood, ji. Inshallah. So I'll try to, what I'll do, inshallah we'll get this document out. So just message one of the brothers inshallah and we'll get this document out. Adil is the man, because he's got everything. I always send it to him. So he knows why I'm sending it to him now. Why I send him certain things. But inshallah, like, what we'll do, inshallah, we'll end now. But next week inshallah, I just want to touch upon this. Then we're going to start again going back into the spiritual elements of prayer again and start touching into some more detail inshallah. So inshallah we'll end there. Any last questions? Just want to give last chance. Anything for the sisters? We've got a question. Bismillah. You see, that's it mentions up here as well. Like, don't dwell. Like, for example, if you have a doubt, then once you created the doubt, that's it. If the doubt's there, your wuzu's done, it's gone. But if there's no doubt and you certain, alhamdulillah, I've done, that's done. That's it. Once you start doubting, that's when it becomes difficult. Okay. One of them, last one now.
In these sessions, will you go over masbook? Like, a lot of people don't know how to join the prayer. Do you know the Imam's reading and stuff?
Achha. Maybe. It all depends, like, whether it's, I think it is covered, but then it becomes too, like, fiqh. So, like, obviously, like, the point is, I'm focusing on necessity now, meaning something that is priority for the person. So, if it comes up and I feel like maybe it's necessary, then inshallah we'll cover. Or if someone asks, we will think. But I think next week, I want everyone inshallah to go through this document, try to learn and memorize, and also, like, if you have any doubts and difficulties, you can always refer back to it. Inshallah, that will be, of course, a great help because it's simplified for even the most simplest of minds, inshallah. And if anyone is unsure, just don't be shy to ask questions, inshallah. So inshallah we'll end here. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik wa nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta wa astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Jazakallah everyone for attending. Thank you.